Hi there, Riju. My name's Andrew, and I work here at IELTSpodcast.com with Ben and the others. Thanks for submitting your trial corrections, and sorry that they got a little lost in the inbox. I will, however, correct both of the messages that you sent, even though the trial correction is intended to be only one per student. Now, first of all, we can, with these, give you as much support and guidance as possible towards achieving good quality academic writing. But if you wish to receive repeated corrections over time, which really is required for improving writing, I'll give you the details of how to access that at the end. First things first, let's read through your essays sentence by sentence and see if we can offer you any improvements. So with these Task 1 letters, the most important thing to remember is the tone with which you speak to people. Are we asking for a favour? Are we making an apology? Are we speaking to a friend? Because they all require different tones. So, dear John, I am writing this letter to seek some information on a few things during my visit to the UK. Cool. My name is Riju Garg, and I'm a student who is visiting London to study a 2-week master's programme, so I'd remove this S here. I recently got to know the details of my homestay, comma, and that I have been allotted a studio room in your house. It would be great if you could help me with some advice on a few things. One thing here is we've already said a few things there. So let's say, help me with some advice on a couple of points. First, I would like to know here, this is great. It would be great. Use the conditional to be super polite and friendly to someone who we wish to have a personal relationship with, but the same here. First, I would like to know, if possible, what is the best mode of transport from the airport to your house? Also, could you please help me to understand the kinds of clothes I should pack for this trip and what the weather will be like? i.e., do I need to carry any specific clothes for a rainy season? It would also be helpful for me if you could help me to plan an itinerary for visiting some of the nicer places in London, so that I don't miss out on any important tourist spots. To miss out is to miss an opportunity, so that I don't miss out on any important tourist spots. I will be arriving in London on the 12th of May at around 4 p.m. We don't need to say this because PM does that. This is essentially repeating yourself. At around 4 p.m. I will inform you in advance in case of any variations from the original plan. I am looking forward to seeing you soon. Yours sincerely, no need for the capital, Riju. Great. You actually really do seem to understand the nature of communicating in a personal manner. Using the conditional for politeness, being super duper polite, and I would say as well in here what we need is for an extra points, just a quick thank you. I would say thank you for your offer of hosting me, and I look forward to hearing from you soon, would be best. But other than that, this is great. So this is the task 2 that you sent. I did ask you to write a task 2 on marketing, but I have searched the inbox high and low and it is not there. If you did submit it, I apologise, but it is not with us. So I will correct this one. Let's have a go. So the first thing I notice is that these paragraphs seem unbalanced. You've put a lot into this one, but not very much into this one. Let's have a read and see what's happened. It is undoubtedly true that nowadays, remove this, proper curriculum planning has become a vital part of education. I would say that has always been true. I would say it is undoubtedly true that proper curriculum planning is a vital part of education. Many people feel that it is important for students, you can remove this, students to be taught drawing in school. Why? These two things here seem completely unrelated. I would just start with, while many people feel that it is important for students to be taught drawing as part of their education, I personally believe that a student's time can be utilised much more effectively by what? Give an alternative. Give what do you think is supposed to be done? Also, don't talk about the fact in your intro that you consider it to be a waste. It's far too strong and it seems obnoxious. Lots of people devote their entire lives to the arts, and for you to say it is a waste of their life is going to upset a lot of people. That's not what we're trying to do with academic writing. On the one hand, drawing and painting helps to enhance creativity in children, so remove this. This in turn helps them to build their imagination and can broaden their horizons and develop different ways of thinking. For example, we should have an example here, so I'll give you one. For example, a student who struggles to express themselves in words may take great comfort from expressing themselves with images or music. Additionally, being engaged in such an activity assists students in relaxing by breaking the monotonous cycle of academic study. That would be a good paragraph if it had a solid example, but what you've allowed to happen here is you've allowed your personal view of art and the arts to bias your opinion. So now you go into this big rant about why art is a waste of time, but you have not really considered the benefits of art. And the benefits of art are not just to the individual who is expressing themselves, but to people who can gain a sense of connection to the world around them, and to other people, and to their own emotional experiences, just by looking at an expression of somebody else's. I could draw a picture, or paint a painting, or write a song that would, or that could even, express an emotional experience that you have never managed to put into words. Upon thinking about this emotional experience that you've never come to terms with, the effects could be drastic. Art and culture is an essential part of being a human being. Humans are born needing not only society and food and shelter, but also culture and expression, because we are emotional creatures. To deny the emotional side of people is to deny our humanity. As you can tell, I have rather strong views on art and culture. But let's continue with your opposition. On the other hand, there are certain circumstances wherein the idea of including art in our curriculum will not be welcomed by many pupils or indeed parents. For instance, a child who is more interested in playing sports will feel that it is a waste of time to sit and draw. Instead, it would be more rewarding if that person, let's not pluralize, he means that you're talking about one specific person. And also, you just said a child. So then to say that it's definitely a boy, even though this is a theoretical child, is not quite right. If the child invests their time in learning or practicing sports rather than drawing, So here we should say, for instance, there are only a small number of children who feel that expressing themselves through the arts is valuable. I would then use a semicolon. Those children who prefer sports, for example, would be much better investing their time in their interests instead of interests prescribed by the establishment in which they are taught. Furthermore, the basic motive of many parents to send their children to school is for studying rather than extracurricular activities, and hence they would want their children's education to be more academic as opposed to drawing. Hence, I feel that it will not be a good idea. I feel that it would not be a good idea, but also we never personalize your body paragraphs. Don't refer to yourself, don't refer to the reader, and never refer to feelings. We don't want to know what you feel, we want to know what you have observed and what you think. Hence, the teaching of drawing in schools may not be a good idea, as there exist many classes outside of formal education which can be utilized for this purpose if a child is interested or if a child is willing. In conclusion, I feel that it should not be made mandatory by schools to teach drawing. However, it can be offered as an optional subject in the curriculum. This will enable students to make... Whenever I see a word like this that's overly complicated, because wise would do here, the only time I would use a word like this is if its simpler synonyms had already been used previously. So if you have used wise up here or erudite down here, and then you need to use sagacious here, that's fine. But you haven't said wise once, so I would stick with the primary synonym, wise. This will enable students to make wise choices regarding what is best suited for their personal interests. So that's my biggest point for you, is that academic writing is intended to be objective and fully considerate of all perspectives. So don't let your opinion heavily influence what you consider. Consider the benefits of art in the curriculum fully, and then the counter-argument fully. But here you've given almost no time to the positives of drawing and painting, and then given almost double to the negatives. And a person reading this thinks, well, I know I know what this person feels, and so it becomes opinion alone. It loses its objectivity, which is the entire point of academic writing. You do have a very good writing style. You do have a very wide vocabulary, and your ability is not in question. But you seem to have very strong opinions, and you mustn't allow those to influence your writing. But if you would like to continue receiving corrections in this manner, where I sit and criticize all of your mistakes, you can subscribe to our course, the link to which is in this email. I do hope to be seeing some more of your work coming through soon, Riju, but until then, have a wonderful day. Bye bye for now.